It's a place that's gained national notoriety in the past 3 months, but controversy is nothing new for the Dondale Detention Centre. It was here in the year 2000 that a 15-year-old Aboriginal boy took his own life. He'd been put behind bars for stealing school supplies worth less than $100. The boy was sentenced to 28 days detention under mandatory sentencing laws for property crime, introduced by the CLP government. A year later, Labor's first Chief Minister Claire Martin abolished those laws. But since then, successive governments, both CLP and Labor, have reintroduced mandatory sentencing. Paul Henderson's government brought in mandatory sentencing for serious assaults in 2008, before the Giles government upped the ante 5 years later, bringing in minimum 3-month sentences for violent assaults. But Sky News can reveal those laws are now under review.
We will consider removing mandatory sentencing if that's the right thing to do, if that's what the evidence shows.
The Australian Bar Association says that evidence is clear. It's called for the abolition of mandatory sentencing in all states and territories, saying it has helped contribute to high indigenous incarceration rates. Natasha Fyles says the NT government is working on an Aboriginal justice agreement aimed at keeping Indigenous people out of jail.
We certainly are working as efficiently as possible, and I think over the next 12 to 18 months we'll see reform.
The Northern Territory locks up more people per capita than any other Australian jurisdiction. On a global scale, the NT ranks third, behind only the United States and China. More than 80% of those prisoners are Indigenous, a number that has been rising since the Royal Commission into Aboriginal Deaths in Custody was held 25 years ago. Sky News understands the federal government will undertake a review of all 339 recommendations of the Royal Commission into Aboriginal Deaths in Custody to see which ones have been implemented by the different states and territories. One of those recommendations was the implementation of a custodial notification service that's already been implemented in New South Wales and the ACT, the Indigenous Affairs Minister offering to fund the service in all the other states and territories for the next 3 years.
The evidence is for 15 years, with the largest Indigenous population in Australia is in New South Wales, not a single death in custody.
But the Northern Territory government wants to know more before it takes up this offer.
I know that the Chief Minister and Minister for Police has written back to the federal government indicating that we need time to have a comprehensive look at what this would mean.
Matt Cunningham, Sky News, Darwin.